Welcome to XRP Today USA, the channel where we uncover the truth about digital assets and the future of global finance. In today's video, we're taking a deep dive into XRP, one of the most misunderstood yet potentially most powerful digital assets on the planet. XRP has been ridiculed by the media, dismissed as a so-called banker's coin, labeled as dead, and targeted by regulatory lawsuits. But behind all the noise lies a groundbreaking technology and a mission that could transform how money moves across the world. This is not just another cryptocurrency hype video. This is a complete breakdown of why XRP could be one of the most critical financial tools of the digital era. Let's get started. Part 1. The broken financial system. To understand the true value of XRP, we first need to examine the problem it was designed to solve. Today's global financial system is outdated. Systems like SWIFT and traditional wire transfers were created decades ago, and they haven't kept up with the pace of technology. International payments often take 3 to 5 days to complete. They're expensive, prone to delays, and full of hidden fees. Worse, if a transaction fails, you might not even know why. For small businesses, this can mean lost revenue. For individuals, it can mean waiting days just to send money to family overseas. And for millions of people living in developing countries, access to global financial services is still out of reach. Imagine living in a world where you can send an email instantly, but it takes a week to send money. That's the reality of our current financial system. Despite living in a digital age, money still moves like it's stuck in the 1970s. It's slow, it's costly, and it lacks transparency. This inefficiency doesn't just create frustration, it stifles innovation, holds back economic growth, and leaves billions underbanked or completely excluded from the financial system. That's where XRP comes in. Part 2. What is XRP really? XRP is often misunderstood. It's not just another cryptocurrency created for speculation. It's a real-world liquidity solution designed and developed by Ripple Labs to transform how money moves around the world. At its core, XRP was built to enable fast, low-cost, and reliable international payments. While most digital assets focus on decentralization or smart contracts, XRP focuses on solving one specific problem: cross-border money transfers. Let's break down what makes XRP unique. Speed. Transactions on the XRP ledger settle in just 3 to 5 seconds. That's nearly instant compared to traditional banking systems that can take days. Cost. Each XRP transaction costs a fraction of a penny. This makes it ideal for moving even small amounts of money without worrying about high fees. Scalability. XRP can handle over 1,500 transactions per second. That's more than Bitcoin and Ethereum combined, making it one of the most scalable digital assets available. Energy efficiency. XRP does not rely on mining. Instead, it uses a consensus protocol that is far more energy efficient than proof-of-work systems. This makes it environmentally friendly and sustainable for the long term. But XRP is more than just fast and efficient. It's part of a larger vision powered by the XRP Ledger, a decentralized open-source technology that was specifically designed to solve real problems in finance. Here's where it gets even more powerful. Banks and financial institutions don't need to hold XRP on their balance sheets. Instead, they can use it on demand as a bridge currency to instantly convert between two different fiat currencies. This removes the need for pre-funded accounts and eliminates unnecessary capital tied up in nostro vostro systems. In practice, it means faster, cheaper, and more reliable global payments. Not in theory, but in real-world financial operations. This is what separates XRP from the rest. It's not trying to replace the existing financial system. It's trying to improve it, from the inside out. Part 3. Why XRP is not a typical crypto. In the world of digital assets, XRP stands apart. While most cryptocurrencies gain attention through speculation, memes, or hype cycles, XRP is built with a purpose, real-world utility. It's important to understand what XRP is not trying to do. It's not trying to replace fiat currencies like the dollar, euro, or yen. Instead, XRP is trying to connect those currencies, making it easier, faster, and cheaper to move value between them. Think of Bitcoin as digital gold, a store of value that people hold. XRP, by contrast, is more like digital oil. It powers the engine of the global financial system by enabling liquidity where it's needed, when it's needed. This is not theory. It's already happening. While many crypto projects are still chasing adoption or making promises for the future, XRP has already entered the real economy. Ripple's on-demand liquidity, or ODL, uses XRP as a bridge asset to instantly move money across borders. That means eliminating the need for pre-funded accounts and reducing the friction that slows down global transactions. Banks and financial institutions across Japan, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and Latin America are either piloting or already using this technology. This is not some future roadmap. It's live. Unlike meme coins that rise and fall based on social media trends, XRP is backed by real partnerships, real volume, and a clear business use case. This is why it has drawn attention not just from retail investors, but also from major financial players and even central banks. To put it simply, XRP has a role in the financial world that no other cryptocurrency can currently fill. It's not here to be trendy, it's here to be useful. And that utility is what gives XRP staying power in a market full of speculation. Part 4. XRP versus the SEC. What really happened? In 2020, the cryptocurrency world was shaken when the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, launched a lawsuit against Ripple Labs, the company behind XRP. The SEC argued that XRP was an unregistered security, meaning Ripple had been selling it illegally to investors. This legal battle quickly became one of the most watched cases in crypto history, with huge implications for both Ripple and the broader industry. For anyone new to this, think of it as a courtroom drama, where the stakes weren't just money, but the future of a digital currency used by millions. Fast forward to 2023, and the story took a dramatic turn. A U.S. court delivered a landmark ruling. XRP is not a security when sold to the general public. This decision was a game changer. For Ripple, it was a massive victory after years of uncertainty. For the crypto industry, it was a sigh of relief, a signal that not every digital asset would be tangled up in strict regulations. Imagine the excitement in the crypto community. A major player had just won a round against a powerful regulator. But the lawsuit wasn't without consequences. During the legal fight, many big U.S. exchanges, like Coinbase and Kraken, dropped XRP from their platforms. It was a tough blow, making it harder for Americans to buy or trade XRP. Yet, Ripple didn't sit still. While the U.S. market was on pause, the company pushed forward globally, signing deals with banks and payment providers in places like Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. It's a bit like a business finding new friends overseas while waiting for things to cool down at home. Today, the dust has settled, and XRP is back on those major US exchanges. The court's ruling has brought a sense of clarity. No more guessing games about whether XRP is legal to trade. This newfound momentum is exciting for investors and users alike. With the regulatory cloud lifting, XRP is once again positioning itself as a key player in the world of fast, low-cost international payments. And as Ripple continues to grow its global network, it's worth asking, could this be just the beginning of XRP's comeback story? Part 5. Global Adoption and Ripple's Strategy. To understand XRP's potential, you have to look beyond the headlines and price charts. You need to examine Ripple's strategy, and it's unlike most players in the crypto world. While many crypto projects focus on attracting retail investors or building online communities, Ripple has taken a different path. Their mission is to integrate with global financial infrastructure, to work directly with the institutions that move the world's money. Ripple is not just talking about adoption, it is already partnering with major players across the financial ecosystem, including Santander, one of the largest banks in Europe, Tranglo, a cross-border payment hub in Southeast Asia, SBI Holdings, a financial giant in Japan that has openly supported XRP Bank of America, one of the largest banks in the United States, the Digital Pound Foundation, which is helping shape the future of digital currency in the UK, and even central banks, which are exploring central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. These are not theoretical partnerships. They are real collaborations aimed at upgrading how money moves. Ripple's vision is to become a foundational layer of the new financial internet, where money moves as quickly and seamlessly as information does today. Just as email replaced the slow and expensive process of mailing letters, Ripple wants to do the same for cross-border payments. And the key to all of this? XRP. XRP is the native digital asset of the XRP ledger. It's what makes instant, low-cost, cross-border transactions possible. It acts as a bridge currency, removing the need for banks to hold multiple currencies in accounts around the world. That's why Ripple doesn't spend time hyping XRP to retail traders. They're too busy building the infrastructure of tomorrow's financial system, piece by piece, partner by partner, across the globe. This is not a short-term marketing play. It's a long-term strategy built on real-world use and global adoption. If Ripple succeeds in becoming a central pillar of financial plumbing, then XRP will be the asset that powers that system, quietly and efficiently behind the scenes. That's not hype. That's infrastructure. Part 6. The XRP Rich List and Whale Movement. When you study any asset class, it's important to follow what the smart money is doing. Not just what they say, but how they move. In the case of XRP, the XRP Rich List tells an interesting story. Over 50% of the total XRP supply is held by the top 1% of wallets. That's not retail speculation, that's strategic positioning. These top wallets are not actively selling their XRP. In fact, many of them are accumulating. We're talking about institutions, insiders, and early backers, people and entities who understand XRP's long-term utility. These are not impulsive traders chasing short-term gains. These are long-term investors positioning themselves ahead of major shifts in the global financial system. Now, why would large holders sit quietly on such a massive stake if XRP were truly dead, as some critics claim? The answer is simple. They know what's coming. They understand that XRP is not just another digital token. It's a potential bridge asset for the new financial architecture, the kind that central banks, global institutions, and payment providers may rely on. These wallets aren't chasing hype. They are preparing for utility. And in the world of finance, whale movement matters. When large holders are accumulating, it often signals quiet confidence in the asset's long-term value. While the public debates XRP's lawsuit or short-term price swings, the smart money is quietly loading up. They see a future where XRP plays a foundational role in real-world financial systems. That's not speculation, that's positioning. So the question becomes, if the top 1% are holding and accumulating XRP for the long haul, what do they know that most people don't? And are you paying attention? Part 7. XRP's role in the coming digital financial system. The global financial system is on the brink of a profound transformation. Central banks around the world are developing or piloting digital versions of their national currencies, known as central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. At the same time, private sector stablecoins and tokenized assets are gaining traction. In this new environment, interoperability becomes the critical challenge. How can multiple digital currencies, each engineered on its own blockchain or ledger, communicate and exchange value instantly and securely? That is precisely the gap that XRP is designed to fill. As the native token of the XRP ledger, XRP can act as a universal bridge currency between any two digital or fiat currencies. Rather than relying on multiple intermediaries or establishing pairwise liquidity for every possible currency pairing, XRP allows two parties to convert from one currency to another in a single atomic transaction. Imagine a future where the US dollar CBDC, the digital euro, the Japanese yen, and various stablecoins are all active on their respective ledgers. Right now, each digital currency is effectively an island. To exchange one for another, you need corridors, bank accounts, fiat on-ramps, or multiple conversion steps that can take days to settle. With XRP, liquidity pools form on the XRP ledger. A sender simply converts their home currency into XRP, moves those XRP to the recipient's XRP address, and converts XRP into the destination currency, all in a matter of seconds. No correspondent banks, no multi-day delays, no unpredictable fees. This instant, low-cost conversion has massive implications for cross-border commerce. Exporters receive payment nearly immediately, whereas today they might wait days or weeks for a wire transfer to clear. Remittance corridors become dramatically more efficient, allowing migrant workers to send funds home at virtually zero cost. Even businesses with high-volume, low-margin transactions, such as logistics companies or global supply chains, benefit from real-time settlement. Cash can flow where it is needed, when it is needed, rather than being tied up in nostro accounts. Behind the scenes, Ripple is working with central banks, financial market infrastructures, and major payment providers to ensure that the XRP ledger can integrate seamlessly with emerging CBDC platforms. Ripple's CBDC platform leverages the same core technology as the XRP ledger. It does not require XRP itself for every CBDC use case, but it establishes a clear path for interoperability. In other words, if a central bank issues a digital peso, it can still use XRP as a bridge to convert into digital renminbi or digital lira without disrupting the underlying regulatory and monetary policies. That means each country retains control over its monetary policy while benefiting from a shared, efficient payment network. Consider a concrete scenario. A corporation in Germany needs to pay a supplier in Brazil using the digital euro and a Brazilian digital real. Today, that payment would likely flow through multiple correspondent banks, each holding pegged accounts and applying fees at every stage. In the world of CBDCs and tokenized assets, those two digital currencies live on separate ledgers. But with XRP, the company can send digital euros into the XRP ledger, convert to XRP on demand, then convert from XRP to digital real on the Brazilian ledger, settling the entire payment in under 5 seconds. That single atomic transaction eliminates exchange rate slippage, reduces counterparty risk, and vastly lowers costs. XRP also addresses a critical issue known as last-mile liquidity. Even if two financial networks are perfectly compatible, obtaining liquidity in a particular currency at the precise time of settlement can be challenging. XRP pools liquidity centrally, so market participants do not need to hold large inventories of every foreign currency. Instead, they hold XRP as needed. In periods of high demand, such as end-of-quarter corporate payments, XRP's order book absorbs large volumes of transactions without significant price fluctuations. That stability and reliability are essential if CBDCs are to gain widespread trust and adoption. As more central banks move from pilot programs to live CBDC issuance, the demand for an independent, neutral settlement layer will only grow. Ripple's approach is unique. By focusing on delivering interoperability rather than creating yet another siloed digital currency, XRP has the potential to become the default liquidity rail connecting all digital currencies. In essence, XRP can be the Internet of Value backbone that allows the world's digital currencies to talk to each other as effortlessly as devices on a data network. Critics often dismiss XRP because they see only its connection to Ripple. But in the realm of CBDCs and large-scale financial infrastructure, XRP's neutral ledger and widespread institutional adoption make it uniquely equipped to serve as a global bridge. While some argue for pairwise bilateral corridors between every two currencies, that approach becomes unsustainable as the number of digital currencies grows. XRP provides a scalable solution, a single common denominator that can connect any number of tokenized assets without each currency needing its own separate liquidity pools. Ultimately, the promise of a fully digital financial system hinges on seamless interoperability. As countries launch their CBDCs and private stablecoins proliferate, the ability to move value instantly across borders, without friction, will define the next era of global finance. XRP is the digital asset built specifically to enable that reality. Its ledger is open source, permissionless, and battle-tested. Its design prioritizes speed, cost efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements. And as Ripple continues to work with central banks and international clearinghouses, XRP's role as a bridge currency is poised to become central to the future of money. Part 8. The future of XRP: price, adoption, and opportunity. As we look ahead, the future of XRP is becoming clearer and more significant. A convergence of major global trends is pushing digital finance to the forefront, and XRP is uniquely positioned to capitalize on this shift. First, institutional integration is accelerating. Ripple continues to form partnerships with some of the largest financial institutions and payment providers around the world. Banks and governments are not just experimenting anymore. They're actively building systems that include XRP and the XRP ledger as part of their cross-border payment strategies. This isn't theoretical. It's already happening, and it's expanding. Second, after years of uncertainty, regulatory clarity in the U.S. is finally taking shape. The outcome of Ripple's legal battle with the SEC has laid a foundation for understanding how XRP is classified. This provides legitimacy and opens the door for further institutional participation, especially in the United States, which remains the largest financial market in the world. As regulators create frameworks for digital assets, XRP's clear utility and compliance-first approach put it ahead of many competitors. Third, we're witnessing a global erosion of trust in fiat currencies. Inflation is devaluing money in real time. Countries are debasing their currencies, and geopolitical tensions are exposing the fragility of traditional financial systems. People and institutions are actively searching for alternatives, assets that are fast, borderless, and resistant to manipulation. XRP fits that profile. So, what does this mean for the future? XRP may soon become part of the global financial plumbing, the invisible infrastructure that powers trillions of dollars in transactions across countries and continents. It won't need hype or headlines. It will quietly do the work behind the scenes, just like the internet protocols that allow you to send an email or stream a video today. If XRP captures even a small percentage of the world's cross-border payment volume, its utility alone could drive significant price appreciation. And if XRP becomes a bridge for tokenized real-world assets, CBDCs, and digital securities, its role could expand even further. But let's be clear, the true opportunity here is not just about the price. The real opportunity lies in understanding the transformation that's coming, and being early to a digital asset that could serve as the backbone of a new global financial system. While most people are still chasing hype, meme coins, or speculative tokens with no clear use case, XRP is quietly being adopted by some of the most important institutions in finance. XRP is not just a coin. It's a piece of digital infrastructure, designed from the start to solve real problems in global liquidity, payments, and interoperability. The earlier you understand its purpose, the more positioned you are for the shift ahead. Now you understand why XRP matters. It's not dead. It's not a meme. It's not just another crypto project chasing attention. XRP is a tool, and possibly the most important tool, for modernizing how money moves around the world. If you found this video valuable, subscribe to XRP Today USA for more deep dives like this. We break down complex financial trends, explore digital assets, and help you stay ahead of what's coming. Share this video with someone who still thinks XRP is just a banker coin, because by the time they realize what it really is, it might